By now, I imagine most people have heard of the now famous 60 Minutes interview that Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon.com, did, where he'd announced his intention to launch something called Amazon Prime Air over the next few years, where instead of Amazon using UPS and FedEx and DHL to deliver packages, they're going to have a series of drones that will take lightweight objects and within 30 or 45 minutes, if you order in something in a major metropolitan area, deliver it to your doorstep. Now, the reaction to these drones has been somewhat mixed by the public. They have been the subject of a lot of fun on YouTube and a lot of memes and cartoons that are floating around the internet. Other people, though, have embraced this, and they said this is a new profit opportunity for us to develop new businesses. And not surprisingly, there have been a lot of imitators, like the now infamous Tacocopter, which purports that it will deliver tacos to anybody that lives in the San Francisco Bay Area within 30 minutes if you place an order on a mobile phone. Now, I thought that this was a hoax and a joke, but I was talking to Mike Schwab the other day, and he told me he orders from here every Friday night, so it must be real. The Brits were actually way ahead of Amazon.com, though. The Domino's Pizza franchise last summer delivered 2 Domino's pizzas using a drone to a location in the Midlands in the UK. Now, all this stuff with the drones, if you go back a few years, was really started by Amazon Prime and this desire of how do we deliver and ship things faster and cheaper than when we'd be able to do? Because one of the biggest problems that online retailers have in growing their business is fighting with that immediate gratification that you get when you go into a store and you buy something. And so although Amazon gets a lot of the credit, they're not really the only innovator. There's another company called Shuttle, for example, that was launched in London. And their value proposition was when you checked out, instead of picking DHL or Royal Mail to deliver a package, you could pick Shuttle, and they would deliver it anywhere within the London city area within about an hour. Shuttle was very successful. They expanded in the United States and were quickly bought by eBay, who also wants to get into this very fast local delivery service with something they call eBay Now. It's a virtual sort of concierge or valet, you might think of it as. We can send them a shopping list, and they'll go to major retailers in the United States like Home Depot or Target, and they'll do their shopping for you, and they'll deliver it to your house within a couple key areas within less than an hour. There's startups popping all over the place that promise to be able to deliver you goods faster without you ever having to leave the comfort of your home. Another one is called 11. They'll go out and they'll find just about anything that you want, a microwave, a refrigerator, a television, and try to deliver it to your house as long as they can buy it in a store. And people aren't just using trucks and cars to deliver these things. There's a new service called Postmates that's launched in New York City, where instead of using cars in that congested area, they have a network of couriers that will ride bikes. They'll pick up your order on a mobile phone, they'll go to a nearby store, buy it, and then they'll deliver it via courier. Now, some of you might think, well, this is moving a little backwards, isn't it, now that we're starting to do cargo transport and bikes? But this might actually be the future, especially if you talk to the folks over in London. There was a proposal put in place a couple months ago to build a 200-kilometer network of bike trails above the rail tracks throughout London. And it's believed that you'd be able to get to your destination, your journey, a lot faster on a bike than you would on the tube or in a taxi or driving on some of the crowded motorways. There's another service called Car Drops in the UK. These folks will come and they will deliver packages to your car and put them in your trunk for you while you're sleeping or while you're at work or while you're out with the kids on Saturday afternoon. You don't even have to tell them where your car is. They magically find it for you. Walmart is experimenting with having their own customers deliver packages for them. So they figure we've got a few million people coming into our stores every year. A lot of them are low-income shoppers. What if we offered them a discount off their invoice if they'll drop a package off on their way home to one of their neighbors? DHL is way ahead of them, though. They've got a service in Sweden called MyWays, where if you've got an expensive electronics item that's going to be delivered to your apartment or your flat and you can't be there to pick it up, you can go online and say, I want it delivered to this location at this time. And anybody in the crowd, anyone in the general public can sign up to be a courier and pull down that order and go meet you and deliver it and get a small fee for the delivery. But they're not, companies are not accepting that, that you could deliver things in only 30 minutes or an hour. Amazon just filed a patent They want to be able to start shipping you things before you even order them. Now, this is real. What they're going to do is they're going to do big data analytics on your consumption patterns and see how frequently do you go through diapers or other staples like toner cartridges for printers, and predict when you're going to run out and ship it to you before you even know that you need it. Google's actually been working on a similar service for several years now. Those of you that have an Android phone, by the way, if you don't, you should, you might have played around with something called Google Now. And what Google Now does is it reads your email. It reads your calendar. It looks at your location. It looks at the weather. It looks at maps. It looks at search engine activity you've been doing. And it tries to provide you useful information to help you run your day. But the next thing they want to get to is predictive analytics. So suppose you're standing on a sidewalk in San Francisco, and it starts to rain. This Google Now service will be able to detect the moisture hitting your cell phone. It'll be able to identify where you are based on your GPS coordinates. It'll look up the weather, and it'll say, oh, it's raining. This phone's getting awfully wet. This person must not have an umbrella. 2 minutes later, somebody in an Uber taxi service drives up and hands you an umbrella out the window and charges it to your credit card.